What's up, everyone? This is Troy from GlitchFeed. I'm here with Darin from Superfight, the creator of Superfight.
Yep. Hi, everybody.
So tell us a little bit about your game.
Okay, Superfight is a game that's all about who would win in a fight.
Yep.
And to make the fighters for the fight, you're using cards. You got white cards that are characters, black cards that are attributes. So you got characters like Darth Vader, Iron Man, reading off our sign here,
Yeah.
and then they could get attributes that are either you get machine guns or jetpacks, or weaknesses like they're morbidly obese, they
Right.
can't see, that kind of stuff. So you've got all this crazy stuff. Taylor Swift's got a jetpack, she breathes fire. Kindergarten class, they all have lightsabers, but they're trapped in a hamster ball. We argue over who would win. You've got Taylor Swift, I've got the kindergarten class, and then our friends at the table vote on who won, and you get a point.
It's a very, very fun party game. It's a lot of fun to play. I've had a lot of time with it.
Great, thank you.
Talk about the expansions a little bit. You've got a lot of extra decks and extra bucks, add a lot of depth to the game. Tell us a little bit about those.
Yeah, I wanted that depth to be customizable. I
Yeah.
wanted it to be modular to where if you're into dirty jokes, you can add that to the game because
Right.
the base is very neutral.
Right.
I think the most hardcore card in there is like Heisenberg, you know, so you got kids, you just yank that out. But
Right.
speaking of kids, if you don't want a dirty game and you want a kid-friendly game, you can add the module that makes it the green deck that's all kid stuff. If you're into nerd culture stuff, video games, comic books, you add that one. If your friends aren't, they're very easy to pull out.
Right.
So I just wanted it to fit into everybody's lifestyle. And so far that's working. So.
Yeah, and you guys got the Walking Dead pack as well, so you've got a little bit of branding with your parent company a little bit there.
Yeah, I kickstarted this in 2013,
Yep.
and then last year it was me by myself, and then Sean from Skybound, who makes The Walking Dead,
Yep.
came over. He's like, "Oh, we work on this partnership," and he saw how we got torn apart here. We were sold out on the morning of the second day.
Yeah.
And he's like, "All right, we signed together, and now they're publishing it for me," and so.
Fantastic. Takes a little bit of weight off your shoulders, I'm sure.
Yeah. I wish it put some sleep in my head, but we're all very tired.
Of course. Now, speaking of Kickstarter, you have another game up right now that I take a look at.
He's done his research.
Yes, I have done my research. Red Flags.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit. It's about the same line as Superfight, sort of, but a little bit.
Same vein. That one is definitely skewing female heavy in popularity.
Absolutely.
Whereas Superfight tends to skew male. Now, listen, ladies, you play Superfight. Plenty of people do.
Absolutely.
But I think that's because with Red Flags, it's all about dating.
Yeah.
And it's the problems that women deal with way more than us dudes.
Absolutely.
We're so much less picky, and we're hit terrible, and we deserve all the bad things that happen to us. But Red Flags is going to be great. It's all about making a prospective date for a person. It's a pick your poison game.
Right.
Make some doctor that really loves dogs, but he's on death row, and they have to pick between all those candidates. They have to pick their poison. So. Did great on Kickstarter, and it's the same kind of crowd, people who just love quick. There's no card art, it's just very in your head. And what's nice about both games is you can gauge how much you want to role play. You don't have to pretend to be Darth Vader, although some people love doing that.
Right.
You can just be like, I have Darth Vader,
Right.
and argue over whether he wins in a fight or not. And people like that.
Sure,
So.
yeah, that's great. And then one more thing I wanted to talk to you about.
Okay.
Your ARG.
Oh no, he's bringing up Find the Starlight.
A little bit.
You really did your research.
Listen, I was all over it today. Not even today. This past week I've been all over your stuff. Tell us a little bit about Season 1 and Season 2, or Series 2 that you
Chapter 1.
Chapter 1,
Yeah.
excuse
So, no problem. It's Find the Starlight is a story that I've been working on well before I'd ever heard of the term ARG. I didn't know it existed. And it's just like, I want to write this story, but I want to do weird stuff. I was working in digital stuff, and I was tired of making things that didn't really exist. I wanted to make physical objects. I didn't want to sell them, so it ended up being that these like wooden boxes and these metal coins and all these weird things ended up getting into other people's hands, either through weird Tumblr posts, or I was burying them like in the desert, and I was leaving them in places. And so at the same time I was working on a book, this novel that I've been trying to write, and it became clear to me that the two could be one thing.
Absolutely.
And so the narrator of the story, this guy M, is releasing his story, but as he's doing it, like weird just stuff's happening, like where people have to physically go dig up boxes out of the dirt in order to keep the story going.
Right.
So it's a lot of fun. It's it's why Superfight exists, because I kickstarted it.
Yeah.
And then it did well. And I was going to kickstart chapters, and I didn't like taking money for Find the Starlight, because it's just, I wanted to just be just me, I'm very passionate about the story and telling it. I didn't want money corrupting that.
Sure.
So I sold out and made a card game, and that makes the money that I put into Find the Starlight. So.
Very cool. Well, thanks so much for taking the time to speak with us. You got your website, of course.
Yeah, superfightgame.com, or my personal website that has Superfight, Find the Starlight, Red Flags, all that stuff is featherandmatch.com.
Yes.
Featherandmatch.com.
Very cool. Well, thanks so much for taking the time to speak with us.
It was very nice to meet you.
Thanks a lot.